Hello and welcome to the channel JI Colorist. My name is Jody and today we are continuing our birthstones by month series, and we are learning about the birthstone of the month. It is October and we are going to be learning about the opal. I have discovered a lot about the opals. I certainly am not an expert, so if you want to do a bit of research on opals yourselves, by all means just Google opal gemstone on YouTube here and you will find a lot of interesting videos. And if you Google, I'll have a bunch of pictures throughout this video to show you some of the fantastic opals that are available. I had no idea. I do own a few opals, but mine are of the white common opal, and I really hadn't known that there were so many other variations. So welcome and happy birthday to everyone who is having a birthday in the month of October. You actually have two birthstones to choose from in October. You have the opal and you have the tourmaline. So if you're not a fan of the opal, I encourage you to check out a tourmaline, and I will put a picture of a tourmaline on screen here so that you can see what your options are. Okay, I have been going to use the Gems Volume 2 book by Cynthia Clouter this time, and I have been doing a little bit of practice on opals and trying out a bunch of different top coat to make them do the flash. The big exciting part of an opal is the flash of color that you can get when you move the actual gemstone. So I thought it would be fun to try and recreate that on my page. So I'll show you 4 different ones that I've done here as practice, and we'll discuss each one. So let me just bring you the camera down a bit. Okay, the first one here is a crystal opal, and it has a lot of different colors on it, and I've also tried to put, with not much luck, using my white Signo gel pen, some highlights on the top, and I did that on one side, and then I decided on this half to put some Mod Podge Extreme glitter on it to see if I liked that, and I think that that really is pretty. So I think that that would have looked nice over the whole thing. And again, I'm not very good at white accents, but I really do want to find a gel pen that works. My Posca pen gave up the ghost, and yeah, I've been trying a bunch, but it's not working. The next here is a black opal, and this black opal does not actually mean that it's totally black. It just means it has a dark background. So here's an example of a black opal using polychromos only, and then on top of that I did a dragonfly glaze, and you can see the shimmer and the shine, and that dragonfly glaze is this one, and this is color shifting top coat, and it is violet blue green shift. So that's the one that I enjoy the most out of the 2 that I have. So there. And then the next one that I tried to do was a white opal, and I used polychromos pencils with 2 coats of white acrylic paint painted on top. So first I colored the opal itself with a bunch of different colors. So I used pink, light blue, a green, a purple, cream colored, and then some yellow. And then after that was all done, I brought in this product, which I actually bought to be a refill to my my Posca white pen, and newsflash, it doesn't work. So it's not a good replacement for Posca, but this is titanium white, and it's acrylic ink, and you're supposed to be able to use it in a marker, airbrushing in a pen, or with a brush. I just used it with a brush, and I did this on, I painted it right on top. It gives it kind of a film, milky film on top, which is exactly what a white opal looks like. So it actually turned out really well. So I finally may have a use for this acrylic ink. And then the next one is a bolder opal. And again, on screen, I'll put pictures of all of these opals. But this one, I used a gold gel pen, a couple of different colors of blue, a little bit of green on top, and all polychromos pencils. And then after I was done, I decided that I would put triple thick just on the bottom with no Mod Podge Extreme Glitter. I just did this today after I really liked how this looked. I thought, well, maybe it would look good there too. And it does. So the bottom is how it would look if I just put the triple thick on it. And so the gold gel pen, the metallic, loses quite a bit of the metallic. So it's actually a little disappointing once you put the triple thick on. So I think that in this case, the gold gel pen with then the Mod Podge Extreme Glitter on top actually looked better. And it just gives it a more natural opal feel. So those are the 4 opals that I have practiced and tried so far. I'm going to do another 1 or 2 with you here on the practice sheet, and then I'm going to come and use actually one of the pictures in this book to do an opal. So we'll pick one that's round, although opals do not have to be round. They can be any shape, so could be that as well. So that is what we're going to do today. Let me just move the camera up again. This is Adult Coloring Book Gems Volume 2, and it's by Cynthia Clouter. Okay, let me pull up some pencils. I'm just going to use my polychromos pencils just because they're here and they're handy on my desk, but any pencil will do. So grab whatever pencils you have and let's create an opal together. Okay, I thought we would start with doing a white opal together, since a white opal is probably the most commonly known, only because they are fairly used in jewelry and such. And I think everybody, when they think of an opal, at least I had always thought of an opal as the white one. So we'll do one white one together, and then we'll do another, either a black opal or a bolder opal, because those are quite unique and interesting. So I have a variety of colors. You can go and select a bunch of bright colors, and I would suggest bright colors, not kind of like in the mid range, so not super bright but not dark. And that's because I want to cover it later with the acrylic ink in a couple of coats, so it's going to dull down. And you do want to have a variety of colors so that there's some depth to your opal. So that's why I have included a couple of different blues, and yeah, but we can always just grab, and on screen you'll see some pictures of white opals, and as we're doing each opal I will bring in more pictures. So I'm just going to go and start coloring. Okay, I'm going to do a voiceover and give you some opal information. And let's start with where are opals found. Opals are mainly found in Australia, but they can also be found in Ethiopia, Mexico, Nevada, and there has been a recent find in Brazil of a large vein of opals. But the majority of opals that you do find that are commercially sold are from Australia. So hello to all my Australian viewers. You have a beautiful gem there. So those are places where opals are mined. There are, though, opals that are synthetically made, and those are called lab-created opals. There is also an opal that some people call composite opals, which are they're true opals where you take a thin opal and place it on top of a darker background, and you could call those assembled stones. Some people call them opal doublets and triplets. They're less expensive and less valuable, and a lot of them make it into your less expensive jewelry. The opal on screen that I'm doing is a white opal. Again, it's the most common. the more colors in the opal itself increases the price and the flash of color you see. Okay, when I think I have enough colors down, I will then just kind of lightly go over all the colors again, just to define where they are. And then I'm going to bring a white, and so a Chinese white, and I'm just going to color everywhere. And I could also be using a cream. This one is ivory instead of cream. We'll use ivory this time. And I'm just putting it in all of the spaces that are left white, and that's because I want to put down the white acrylic ink on top, and I don't want it to hit the paper and absorb weirdly, so I want to have everything covered on the page. So I'm just going to go over all of my colors again. An interesting opal that I will not be demonstrating is called a jelly opal. It is a translucent stone, and the colors are shown when you have light filtering through the actual stone itself. Now that I have all of the colors down, I actually want to blend them, and I'm going to bring in my Caran d'Ache full blender. I'm gonna make sure I've got the tip cleaned off. So, okay, so the tip is cleaner now, and this will brighten the colors. And so I'm going to do this before I put the white on, because I want to start with definite colors. And I'm even going to blend in the cream a little bit so that the whole cover looks good. I'm shaking up my acrylic ink. This is a Holbein titanium white. Dip my pen or my brush right into it, and I'm going to paint right over the whole thing. I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to put a second layer on it. If you had, I could also have taken the Chinese white and just colored over the whole opal with the white. So we'll let that dry, and then we'll come back and do a second coat of the white if it is looking. My idea is to get it to look like a white filmy rock, so this will definitely need another coat. Okay, see you back here after it dries. Okay, while this is drying, we will continue on to do another opal. And the next opal I'm going to pick is one that actually could be faceted. So after I just finished saying most opals are not faceted, opal is a stone and it could actually be faceted. So a fire opal is normally from Mexico, so it's called a Mexican fire opal, and it's usually orange and red, topaz colored. So we will do a light overall orange. So this is dark chromium yellow, 109. And on screen you will see a picture of the fire opal. And I'm just starting with the light orange so that I can have some light spots on the opal itself. Okay, so the flecks on this opal are going to be goldy yellow or red. So I'm just going to put in some yellow. Just odd shapes. And just kind of burnishing that yellow in there. It is no surprise that the Mexican fire opal is the opal that is mined in Mexico. Just light cadmium red, and I'm just going to bring My other one is cadmium orange 111. And I'm just going to mix the two because I want some of each. Because we can always put in some darker red areas. But if I do this together at once, I'm kind of blending as I go. And then I'm going to blend into those yellow areas so that they look like they're peeking through. All gemstones take a while to do, so I find it quite meditative and relaxing to just practice doing some of these. And learning about the different stones is always interesting and fun. Opals are often treated to bring out the colors, and there are two typical treatments. One is smoke, and the smoke absorbs coloring the opal darker and it makes it brittle and can cause some cracking, so you do need to be aware of that. So that's how that's going to keep looking. I'm going to do a few layers and then I'm going to come in and burnish and see how I like that. The second treatment is a sugar and water bath, then a sulfuric acid bath. See how the yellow is just peeking through now? And this is a slightly lighter orange, and just kind of blending with that. And if I think I have too much orange, then I'll come in with the red, and I can also come in with a deeper red at the end here and add some shading. I'm going along the edge and kind of bringing those shadows in. And this red is deep red 223. But again, it's not really the color that you need to worry about. Just know that you need a deeper shade to kind of bring out those shadows. And I'm doing very light pressure, so I'm not hurting my hand. If you didn't want to use the darker red, you could just have gone over with our red that we were there before, so you can also do some of that. Go over those yellows again to make them pop. Okay, once we think we've got enough layers down, I'm going to again burnish. I could also use my Gamsol if you didn't want to use a blender pen, but and this time I'm going to not blend the yellow parts right now. I'm kind of blending just the light colors right now, so I'm missing all of the light orange and light yellow colors because I want to blend those after I've done the dark colors. So after I've done that, I'm going to wipe off my tip, and it's starting clean again, and then I'll do the yellow and then the orange, and then I can just kind of go over the whole thing. Now, this is where you can walk away and leave it. This is where you could come in with a white gel pen, which, you know, we will try, but no guarantees. In fact, what I have better luck with is my white Sakura glaze, and I've put a W on here to make sure I know that it's the white one. But let me get this working, and then we will put in some. You're not going to see it on camera till it dries, so I will bring you back for that. But it is going down. You can see it a little bit right there. Okay, so we'll leave that, and that is the fire opal. Now, after this has dried, and we'll put another layer right now while that's drying, we'll put another layer of this Holbein acrylic ink. So this is what it looks like with just one layer. And already you can see that with another layer, it's and it's very runny. So it's definitely very liquidy, so you want to have your book on level surface. Right now it's not all that level, so I will have to lie my book flat. Okay, we'll let that dry, pop all these little bubbles, or drag them to the edge. Okay, let's let that dry. And you can see the white is already coming here and here. So, okay, we'll be back. For the next opal here, we're going to do a boulder opal. So a boulder opal is in the black opal family. So recall that a black opal is an opal that is one of the most expensive. It has a dark background, and so that's an example of a boulder opal here. A boulder opal has an opal and another stone intermixed, so there's lots of variations, so that's why I thought it would be a good opal for us to practice. As you can see here, I have used a gel pen to create the other stone that's in it. Usually it's an iron stone, so it has lots of crazing and cracks, and the opal is part of that stone. So they're beautiful, and they're very unique, and they're highly expensive. So I thought, what the heck, let's do that. So again, we want to start with a dark background, and that can be black, that can be blue. I did a blue one up here, so maybe we'll do a darker background than that for here. So let me grab some colors and we'll get started. All right, I'm going to start with some odd colors this time. I've done a lot of blue, so I decided going to start with the dark color being the dark sepia, and that is 175. And I'm just going to go ahead and start. In fact, before I do that, let me actually map out where I want all the cracks to be. So on screen, I'll show you an example. The boulder opal is part of the black opal family. It has a dark background and has an opal plus another stone intermixed, typically iron stone. There are just lots of variations. So the opal is running all throughout here, but I'm going to do some darker edges. If it's your birthday here in October, give yourself a shout out to your birthday and let me know if you prefer the opal or the tourmaline for your birthstone. It's kind of fun that you have one to choose from. We've got kind of a base background. I'm also going to take the other three colors. I've got a light, medium, dark of turquoise. I thought that would be kind of fun to put that together. In relation to the hardness of the opal gemstone, it is softer and more fragile than most. On the Mohs hardness scale, it is a 5.5 to 6 hardness, and that compares to a diamond, which is a 9 or 10. So it's quite a soft stone. Now this is going to look like a hot mess to begin with, so hang in there with me. And I think I will come along gold gel pen and run it along. I'll kind of show you what I mean. End up running it just along the side of the black, like that. So keep that in mind if you if you're wondering where I'm going with this. I'm not always sure either, so. I just want to have a few blue variations, have some lighter and then some darker. Just a little bit of information on caring for a fragile stone such as an opal. You want to avoid long periods of direct sunlight, as you see on screen. You also want to avoid soaking your opals. A lot of people remove them before showering. Definitely you're not going to put your opal through the wash. So you just have to be a little bit more careful with your stones. So cleaning your opal with gentle mild detergent in warm water with a soft toothbrush or cloth, just quickly washing it. Your doublets and triplets should never be soaked or immersed, and those are the ones that people typically have in jewelry, and they should be wiped clean only. I would love to know if you own any opals and if you wear them, if you've had any problems with them over the years, losing some of their luster, or if you have enjoyed them for years and they're as beautiful now as before. On screen, I'm going to show you a diagram that I found useful on the internet, and it is what an opal is actually made up of. It's made up of a bunch of silica spheres, so little tiny balls, and when the white light hits it, the different wavelengths that bounce back off is what is the different colors. So that is, depending how tight the silicone balls are, you'll get different colors, and I thought this was a helpful illustration. Okay, this time I'm going to use my empty Copic marker, and I'm going to blend, and I'm going to be very careful when I'm blending. I'm just going to do the dark areas first. I'm wiping off the blender between each color. I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to come back and put in like brighter colors again. Okay, and I'm going to bring in the gold gel pen, and I'm going to go right along kind of both sides of that black line that I had the fissures in. Just trying to make sure that you can see that there's kind of crevices and cracks in it. Okay, we'll let that gel pen dry, and you can see over here that this white glaze has dried, and it has left a highlight. This one is a little bit shiny and reflective just from the white of the acrylic ink. So we could leave that as is, or I could come back in and put some Mod Podge glitter. But I think I'll leave this one alone. I think that we could add some glitter to that, and the glitter would end up making it more like that. So those are, and this one I might just leave as is. I think it looks pretty as it is. Okay, let's zoom out and review all the opals we've done, and then I'll go and we'll do one more together on a actual coloring page. Okay, these are the opals we have done, and yeah, which is your favorite out of all of the opals? Would you do a crystal, black, boulder, white, or fire? And do you prefer the dragonfly glaze or the Mod Podge glitter, or just the white acrylic ink? Or this one has the Mod Podge on the top, or plain triple thick on the bottom. All options that you can try out. Okay, for today's actual picture that we're going to do, I'm going to do a black opal, and I'm going to make this the whole opal right here in this pendant. We'll do the opal together, then I'll go off and do the rest of the necklace on my own, as I don't want to take up your whole afternoon. This is a fun book though. It's just all kinds of different pictures of gemstones, so I've had it for a while. I got it off of Amazon, and yeah, so let's go ahead and make this into a black opal. I will drop the camera down a bit, and I will just color and perhaps do a bit of a commentary and finish up with any opal facts that I haven't done yet while I'm completing this picture. Okay, let's get to it. I am going to try and mimic an Australian black opal, and I am going to be using indigo, dark indigo, middle phthalo blue. I'm also going to bring in cadmium orange, deep red, and light cadmium red. So we're going to have some flashes of orange and reds and light blue, and then a dark blue background. So remember, a black opal is an opal that has a dark background, but not necessarily black. But if I use a kind of the deep indigo blue, then that should be dark enough, I'm hoping. The last bit of facts are about the black opal. The natural black opal is opal all the way through. It is the highest, most expensive opal that there is. It is typically mined from Australia, and it is gorgeous. And it was most surprising because I thought opals were white, so the black opal is just amazing, and I would suggest Googling it and seeing the different types of black opals that there are. Okay, for the rest of this video, I am going to let you just watch and enjoy some music, and I hope you have enjoyed learning a little bit more about opals. I certainly have only scratched the surface here. There's so much to learn about all these gemstones. I'm just trying to add a little bit more knowledge to myself and bring you along with me as we color some new gemstones. Thank you for listening, and enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, now that I have the whole opal covered in color, I'll just go back in and blend and add another layer of color to everything, and then I will blend. And this time I'm going to blend with the blender, the full Caran d'Ache blender. So I'll blend with that this time, but I'm just going to go make sure that there's enough pigment on the paper to blend. And I've brought in a yellow at the end just to kind of add a bit of a punch to it and a bit more of a reflective. And again, I'm going to want to bring in the dark indigo to make sure I've got some that dark color because the black opal does have a dark background. Let's do some blending. And this time I'm going to start with the lighter color. Okay, this is what it looks like. Now, again, I could just put some white highlights on here and be done, and that would be fine. But I think we're going to do the Mod Podge Extreme Glitter on this to give it that final glittery shimmer. So this again is what it looks like plain, which is quite pretty all on its own. But I think once we add the extreme glitter, and like everyone says, glitter makes everything best. If you didn't have Mod Podge glitter, you could use some clear stickles. That would work. This is a Wink Stella. You could try that. You could also use the Stardust Jelly Roll Clear. So that would be this one. That would work. So that is this one here. And I just shake it up. I just shake it up, and then I use what's in the cap. And I'm just gonna add a nice even coat. And you want it to go on actually like as thick as I'm putting it on, because there's glitter inside this, and the more product you have down, the glittery it will be, if that makes any sense. So you're not trying to put on a really thin coat, but you're not globbing it on either. Okay, we will let that dry, and I will go wash off my paintbrush from the glue, because that's what this is glitter glue, and we'll be back to show you our final results. All right, here we are back with the completed page. We have our necklace. I completed it using a variety of items, including, but not limited to, the Dollar Tree metallic markers, a Signo gold Stardust clear, Dollar Tree gold, and then some glaze in both dark blue and orange. So, and then some polychromos for the stone in the middle. So here is our black opal, and lots of flash. I hope you can see that on the camera. And I used blue glaze and orange glaze for the extra little beads on the side, and the different colors of gold for all the metalwork. And then this is a green metallic, because they looked like leaves, and then some gold metallic. So I think that this is a very stunning opal, and I think that it would definitely, to me, now that I can recognize what opals look like, I would definitely know that that was an opal. But what do you think? How did I do? And is an opal a stone that you would give a try to? So this is the black opal, and then these were the other opals that we did. So yeah, I really like this one too. This Boulder opal turned out nice, and we didn't put any top coats on that one, so just the colors themselves and a little bit of gold Dollar Tree gel pen. All right, well, that is the birthstone for October. Thank you so much for coming along on this series with me. We have just 2 more months left, and I hope you are enjoying the series, and I hope you use this as a reference for when you come across a stone or a gem item in your coloring pages, you can refer to any one of the ones that you think you want to learn a little bit more about. And until next time, I hope you're having a creative and colorful week, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.